So what can you do in a background task? Like I mentioned, this background task runs in the same app container as your own app. So it's your own app code. It's nothing new. You can do whatever you're doing in the background task which you're doing in your application. So let's say your application is a news application and you are trying to fetch some data. You are trying to fetch some data from the RSS feed from some newspaper to your application, and this is the core functionality of your application. You can keep doing this in a background task, but the point here is don't make it a prolonged activity. If it's important, you can make it periodic, like every 1 hour or every twice a day or something like this. So whatever functionality your application has, the same functionality can be done in the background tasks. Most APIs are accessible as it is. Audio and video are not accessible due to privacy concerns. So we do not allow audio and video sorry, we do not allow audio and video to be accessible in the background tasks, because what may happen is if you're having a conversation, these background tasks may come up and then snoop in your conversation, which is strictly not desirable. So audio and video are not accessible. No other UI other than Toast, Batch and Live, other than Toast, Batch and Tile updates are there. So through your background tasks, you cannot bring the background, you cannot get the application into the foreground. There's no Win32 or there's no bring the application in the foreground sort of a method available. You cannot bring the background application in the foreground. If you want to communicate, you can do so by using Toast Badge or Toast notification, Badge notification, or the Tile notification. For those of you who do not know what Toast notification or the Badge notification is, Toast notification is nothing but the notification which comes on your laptops or tablets on the top right corner in a rectangle. So whatever information comes in the top right corner in the rectangle is called as the Toast notification. And if you have seen the tiles for any application in the start screen of Windows 8, those tiles have a small number in the bottom right or a bottom left corner. Those kind of notifications are called badge updates. So you can use background tasks to update badges, to update the tiles through flipping of the tiles or making the tiles as live tiles or giving the Toast notification. Well, this is why we use the background task basically. So use background tasks as you would use your normal application, and then update these notifications so that users can be aware. User can be made aware for the relevant information. Now, how does background tasks work? They work by using triggers. So basically, what happens is, if you have, okay, let's take a look at the first background task trigger, which is control channel trigger. Control channel trigger are used in VoIP apps. VoIP apps basically requires you to have a socket available with the proper connectivity to the server for a long time. If the application is suspended, we still want the connection between the socket and the server to continue the VoIP application. So what happens is there's a trigger available, which is the control channel trigger. When the packet arrives in the socket, this trigger is notified that there's a packet which is arriving at the socket. Then the trigger is notified, and when the trigger is fired, the system fires the trigger and execute the background task. This is the core working of the background task. So control channel triggers are used in the incoming VoIP applications. Device use triggers, device servicing triggers are the two triggers which are available in Windows 8.1. These are used for USB and Bluetooth device sync. Also, they're used to update the firmware. Next is the location trigger, which is also a Windows 8.1 trigger. It is used to create a geofence around the GPS location. So if you have marked a place if you marked a place and created a fence around that place and your device enters that geofence, this trigger is fired and the corresponding background task is executed. Maintenance trigger performs maintenance work on the AC power. Maintenance triggers works only on the AC power. And it's available for all kind of applications. Push notification trigger, incoming WNS, which is Windows Notification Service push notification to initiate IM conversations. So if you have any kind of push notification services happening, push notification trigger is used so that the corresponding background task can be executed in the background. System trigger run code when the user on the internet is present. System triggers are basically a bag full of triggers available for the developers. Probably there are certain scenarios that we have identified which may be useful for the developers, and there are triggers or the system triggers are provided for them. So let's say that for a particular scenario or for a particular application, there are few conditions that you have to few conditions that needs to be satisfied to execute the background task. So if you have a few conditions such as, let's say there's a scenario where you need to have the user who's away from the, let's say there's a messaging application and you need to update the status of the user who's away from the, who's not in the messaging application or who's away from his laptop or tablet. So there are two conditions here. First, the internet should be available. Second, if the user is away. So these kind of scenarios are there, and triggers for these scenarios are provided under system trigger, which developers can use in their application. Finally, the time trigger. Periodically download POP3 email every 15 minutes. So time triggers are basically used for the applications which run a certain amount of code periodically. 15 minutes is the minimum of the time limit which is provided. That means that you cannot have a periodic update or the time trigger for less than 15 minutes. These are some triggers which are available in Windows 8 and 8.1. Now let me take your attention to the lock screen required, which is the last column of this table. For some of the triggers it says yes, and for some of the table it says no. Next slide is dedicated to lock screen, so I'm going to cover it in the next slide. But the system triggers, if you look at the lock screen required entry for system trigger, it says no with the star. So basically system triggers has many triggers under it, and some of those require the lock screens and some of those do not. There are certain triggers which may require the lock screen and which may not, hence we have put a no with a star for system triggers. Just for other triggers it's confirmed whether they require the lock screen or not.